Oggi qui con noi al Bo Live abbiamo Amy Gravino con cui parleremo di autismo, Asperger e dell'aspetto delle relazioni amorose nell'autismo. Welcome Amy. Let's start from you, okay? Can you tell us who is Amy Gravino and what does she have to do with the Asperger syndrome?
Hello, yes, thank you for having me on Il Bo Live. My name is Amy Gravino. I am an adult on the autism spectrum. I was diagnosed as a child at 11 years old, and I'm now a professional public speaker and autism advocate and autism consultant.
And can you please tell us about your career as a coach for young Asperger people?
Yes, I'm a certified college coach for students on the autism spectrum. I started my own business called Ascot Consulting in 2010. Since then, what's really become an area of focus is more autism and sexuality, because a lot of people are talking about the dating and love lives of people on the autism spectrum. So even though I started out wanting to do college coaching and transition to higher education, now this is becoming so important and there's not a lot of people who are talking about this. So now my main area of focus has become autism and sexuality.
Okay, so that's what we are going to talk about, because probably some people might be thinking that an autistic person isn't interested in having a love relationship. And is that correct? Can you please explain us more about it?
Well, certainly. A lot of people think that people on the autism spectrum are not interested in dating or relationships. There tends to be a stereotype that autistic people are asexual. And there certainly are people who are not interested, who don't want to date, and that's fine. But many people on the autism spectrum do want to be in a relationship and do want to date. It's just that it's very challenging because of the social nuances and the things that are involved in dating that make it so difficult.
So, which is the issue that might occur during an Asperger dating life?
Well, people on the autism spectrum are particularly vulnerable to being taken advantage of. We tend to be very trusting and not to see that people might be two-faced or would say one thing but really mean another. So we take people at their word. And when you do that and you believe everybody has the same good intentions that you do, you don't always see that you are being taken advantage of, as well as the fact that we so much want to be accepted and loved that we have a hard time differentiating between this is good, positive attention, this person likes me for who I am, versus this person is using me and is giving me this attention because they're trying to get something out of it for themselves. So it can be very hard to understand the differences between those things. A lot of times autistic people will be very literal in conversation, will not understand when someone is joking or will not pick up on sarcasm. At least for me, I know I can do it with people that I know pretty well, but if it's somebody that I've just met, I'm not going to always be able to tell when they're joking. And that's led to some awkward moments. I used to be very self-conscious about it when I was younger. If I misunderstood someone, I would feel like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? How could I do this? And now, it just happened to me last week, and I just thought, okay, so I didn't get it. Whatever. I don't know this person.
Okay.
They don't define who I am. But when you grow up being autistic, oftentimes it's what other people say about you that defines who you are, because you don't get to find out who you are the way that other people get to do. So it can be very hard to get past that point and determine for yourself who you are and what kind of person you're going to be in a relationship if you get to that opportunity.
So what can we do to help autistic people, Asperger people, to have relationship, a love dating life, which is, it's not going to endanger them?
Well, I think when we do think of autism and dating, if we think of it at all, a lot of times the first thought goes to safety. How can we keep someone safe? How can we protect them from being hurt? And sometimes what this leads to, especially in the United States, I don't know about in Italy, but people on the spectrum are not always given proper sexual education or given proper information about sexuality and dating. And when you don't give somebody that information, that makes them even more vulnerable. That doesn't protect them in the slightest, because they're going to encounter the same situations that non-autistic people are going to encounter. But if we don't have explicit, clear information, how can we make the choices that we need to make? How can we, begin to start dating and be part of the dating world if we don't know what we're supposed to do? So I think just starting off by giving autistic people access to that information, to comprehensive sexual education, and then giving us opportunities to make a mistake, because dating is about making mistakes, right? People will date the wrong person and they'll be like, oh, that was a terrible relationship, and what did I learn from that? But autistic people don't always get to have those experiences. So how can we learn from experience if we don't have experience? And we have to let people know it's okay to make a mistake. Again, we let people who are not autistic make mistakes, and it's fine, and we know that they're going to be okay. But for some reason, if a person on the spectrum makes a mistake, oh no, he's made a mistake, this is terrible, what are we going to do? And that's not a healthy thing, either for a parent or caregiver or for the person on the spectrum themselves. So just letting people put themselves out there and and having information that they need, I think is a good start.
Thank you so much, Amy. Thank you for sharing your experience.
You're welcome.
See you soon. Okay, grazie, Amy. Thank you so much for real. It's been really interesting, and so I feel really honored that I had the possibility to talk with you, to interview, and so on, for real.
Thank you so much. Grazie mille. I'm honored to have been on the show. I truly appreciate it. And I hope folks will look at my website. If they have more questions or they want more information, you can find me online.
Of course. Thank you. And do you have Facebook?
Yes, I have a Facebook fan
I will
page.
add you on Facebook also, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay. I wish you a really nice day. I know it's morning, and thank you for, you probably got up earlier because, you had the interview. I'm sorry about it.
Oh no, it's 10 o'clock here. It's not that early.
Okay, so it's not that early. Okay, it's fine.
No.
Okay, have a nice day. Thank you so much, Amy.
Okay,
See you soon.
too.
Okay.
Take care.
Ciao.
Ciao, arrivederci.